Human resources. What about people telling you things? What are you allowed to use? What are you not? This is a very important sort of thing. You know, you go back to journalism, you look at it. You have to find sources that are on the record. If they're not on the record, you have to say that they weren't on the record, and therefore they may not be worth a whole lot. You may say knowledgeable resource, but you didn't say who. And you know, what's really a knowledgeable resource if you can't verify it? We want to be able to verify everything. Therefore, human resource, what do we have? Two concepts: personal communication, anonymous material. And these are the two types of things you've got. Anonymous material. Citations of unpublished data are not allowed. If the data has not been published, you don't cite it. If it's your own data, you can say, hey, in a previous experiment, we kind of got this. But that's all it really is, because that's your information. If you got a colleague who did an experiment and it didn't work out, you don't mention it. If those data came from an identifiable source, treat the data as a personal communication. If somebody said to you, hey, we did this, we did that, and we got this and that, you can put that down as a personal communication. If the data are the author's own, you don't need to say that it was unpublished data, because you are now citing it, you are publishing it now. In a preliminary experiment, we came up with these results. That's fine. Okay, because all you're doing is you're saying it's a preliminary experiment. Personal communication, cited parenthetically in the text, which means you put it in parentheses as a personal communication. It is not entered in the reference cited section because it's not really a reference. And according to the AIBS, it should show the name, affiliation, and date of the communication. So in this particular case, this came out of their AIBS. It was Thomas Chapman, Department of Biology, University of Maryland, College Park, personal communication, and the date they said it. And that's your personal communication. You don't cite it in the references cited because it's not a reference cited, okay? It is a personal communication. And you should have in writing that you can use this material. If they said, hey, don't tell anyone, you can't call it a personal communication. If they say off the record, it's not a personal communication. They send you an email. Hey, we did an experiment. We got this and this and that. You know, they're basically putting it up for you to be able to there, and you can show in writing, hey, they sent it to me. They said they got this, this, that. But it's a personal communication, and it goes in like that. Anonymous, not worth the paper it's written on. So when we look at these become very, these become very important. Therefore, human resources can be very interesting. You just have to be very careful about how you cite them. And you better have documentation showing that you were allowed to use that particular work.